So this is exactly how you can get more jobs from your website really, really fast. So you need to transform your restoration website into a 24/7 booking job machine that converts any leads in minutes, not days, right? So your website is probably costing you jobs right now, not because it looks bad, not because people aren't finding it, but because when somebody lands on your site at 2 a.m. with flooded basement, they have no idea what to do next, right? So they scroll, they hesitate, they click back, then they call the next company on the list. Here's what most restoration owners don't realize. Your website isn't competing against the other restoration companies, it's competing against every other site that a person has ever visited. So Amazon, DoorDash, Uber, sites that make it crystal clear what happens when you click a button. Sites that respond immediately. Sites that don't make you wait or wonder or dig through 3 pages just to find a phone number or wait for a response from a form. The brutal truth is this: if your website doesn't convert your visitors into calls or form submissions within 30 seconds, you're hemorrhaging your leads. You're paying Google ads or Meta ads that send people to a homepage with stock photos of water damage and a phone number buried in the footer, or a form fill-in page which takes forever for someone to respond. You're hoping they figure it out, but they won't, because someone's basement is flooding. They're not in research mode, they're in panic mode. Or if someone's found mold, they're in research mode, but you don't know how to answer fast enough, and they just go to the person who answers the fastest. So the invisible leads that you're losing, right? So now you might be thinking, yeah, I get leads from a website. Sure, maybe you do. But how many are you losing? How many people clicked your ad, landed on your site, and couldn't figure out what to do, or waited so long for you to apply from a form that they just leave and bounce? You don't see those people. They just disappear into your competitor's pipeline. And even when someone does submit a form or leave a voicemail, what happens next? If you're on a job site, that lead just sits there. 20 minutes pass, an hour pass. By the time you call back, they're already booked with someone else. Because in the restoration game, speed doesn't just matter. Speed is everything, right? So if you don't answer in under 5 minutes, your conversion rate drops by 83%. That is insane. So 30 seconds is the maximum times to convert visitors before they bounce. 60% lost leads typically bounce for poorly optimized restoration sites, right? You need to turn your website into a job booking machine. Not in 6 months, not after some massive redesign, fast. We're talking about a system that takes people from clicking your ad to becoming a booked job in minutes, not just days, right? So you need Meta or Google ads, hyper-targeted campaigns to bring in qualified prospects, conversion-focused websites built for one purpose, to turn visitors into leads, air intake that instantly responds and qualifies them in 24/7, and an instant follow-up which books jobs in minutes, not hours. So this is why your website just isn't converting, and it's not what you actually think it is. Most restoration companies have the same problem with their websites, but they don't know it's a problem because nobody actually tells them. They think their website's supposed to just exist. It's supposed to look pretty and fancy, put up some pages, throw your logo on there, list your services, and you're done. But that's not a website. That's a digital brochure. A real website has one job. It turns visitors into customers. And most restoration sites completely fail at this because they're designed like the owner is trying to impress other business owners, not convert homeowners who actually try and get in contact with you after hours. And here's what actually happens on most restoration websites. A generic homepage with vague language like your trusted restoration partner, but no clear indication of what to do if their basement is flooding right now or if they've found mold inside of their living room. You have a buried call to action, which is a phone number in small text at the top, or a contact us at the bottom of a lead form, and a lead form that never gets responded to. No urgency or trust. Pages of content that don't answer the only question that matters. Can you help me right now? And additionally, into this trust factor, a lot of people don't actually realize that people don't buy from businesses, they buy from people. So what we implement for our clients is something called a video sales letter. So this goes just underneath the hero section, a video of the owner or a high ranked employee that can actually introduce themselves to the people so that they actually know who they're talking to. They're actually buying from a person. The more people realize that they're buying from a person, not from a business, the conversion rate shoots up like crazy. So trust is everything in emergency situations and in normal situations as well. When someone's home is damaged, they're making a massive decision. They're letting a stranger into their house, fix something that could cost tens of thousands of dollars. So why would they trust you? Your website needs to answer that question, like I said in the VSL as well, right? Reviews visible above the fold. Google reviews with star ratings, displayed prominently on every single page. Certifications and badges, so IICRS credentials, industry certifications that prove legitimacy. Real photos, so actual images of your teamwork, not just stock photos of floods and from anywhere. Some photos of your trucks, some photos of your mitigation equipment, everything like that, right? And additionally, something I didn't add here is adding a VSL of you being the owner talking to the people. Next thing is chapter 2. Meta ads are bringing you the wrong traffic, or you're wasting the traffic, right? Let's say you're running Facebook ads. You're spending money, you're getting clicks, but the jobs aren't really coming in. Most restoration companies assume the problem is in the ads themselves, which is wrong. The problem is that it happens after someone clicks. So just like with any other business, with any other, like even with an e-commerce brand, so like your Nike, right? If they're running ads and they're not getting sales, it has nothing to do with ads. It actually has to do with what happens after the click, right? Because when people click the ads, that means the ad's working. Meta ads work incredibly well for restoration companies if you're targeting the right people and sending them to the right place. But here's where it breaks down. You're running ads that say emergency water restoration and then sending people to your homepage. And your homepage doesn't say anything about water damage. It just says full service restoration company and it lists 5 different services with no clear step. Or you're running that exact same ad with an emergency keyword in it, and some people might not be having an emergency. So you're also not targeting the people that might have just found mold, and mold isn't an emergency service. So people are like, oh, I'm going to shop around, and you're not staying top of mind these people because you're not running the correct type of ads, right? So this is what meta ads should actually be doing for you, which is hyper-targeted campaigns. So target people in your service who have shown interest in your services, emergency repair, or water damage specifically. What we actually install is a lead collector. So it'll actually collect all the leads for you. And what you can do from that is transfer that into Meta, and it'll actually start targeting those people directly. So this is what we call retargeting. And it's very, very important. This is why we run 2 types of ads, which is Google ads and Facebook ads. The Google ads come in, bring in the new people, they run, they see, they input their information. That information is pushed to Meta, and then they are retargeted using Meta ads, and that just gets them to come back and eventually book a consultation with you, right? So strategic retargeting, so like I said, follow up with people who visited your site but didn't convert and reminding them you're available 24/7, and a dedicated landing pages that drive traffic to pages that match exactly what the ad promised, not the homepage with one clear goal to get them to submit or to call you, right? Your ad should filter people immediately. So if you're targeting specifically emergency leads, if somebody clicks immediately and sees you handle water damage emergency 24/7 and they don't have an emergency, they'll leave. That's actually fine because we're filtering out the people who we want, right? So you want the person who clicks, thinks, this is exactly what I need right now. That's what you call a qualified lead, and that's someone who's worth your time. Your ad spend should work harder by bringing you people who are ready to book, not tire kickers who are just browsing. Every click costs money. Make sure those clicks are converting into actual opportunities. So let's move into the next chapter. Your website needs to be built for one thing: conversion. So a lot of people just miss this out. They pay like 25 grand to a website design agency to kind of do this for you. Now, obviously we design websites as well. We don't charge 25 grand for it, but that's over cost, and they don't really put conversion in mind, which is quite sad to see. You forget everything you think about what makes good websites, forget pretty designs and clever taglines. Your website has one job: convert visitors into calls or form submissions as fast as possible. That's it, right? When somebody lands on your site, whether they came from Google search or Facebook ads, they need to know these 3 things within 5 seconds, which is, can you help me? Can I trust you? And what do I do next? So this is essentially the anatomy of a high converting restoration website. A powerful headline, a massive click to call button, simple form and AI chatbot sticky into the bottom right, trust signals everywhere, service pages with service maps on it to increase SEO, and an AI chatbot like I just said. Every element must push towards one action, right? So what actually belongs in your website is a clear emergency messaging, prominent contact options, trust signals, service area information, simple intake forms, AI chatbot, and a fast loading pages. What doesn't need to be on there is company history essays, generic stock photos, complex navigation menus, long-winded explanations, and anything that distracts from conversions, right? So speed and friction actually kills conversions. Page load time. So if your page takes more than 2 seconds to load, people are going to bounce, and people are mostly looking on their phones, and the load times on phones is just ridiculous nowadays. I mean, I've just been messaging some restoration companies who have a 6-second load time. They're losing 53% of their leads because of it, right? Form complexity. So if your form has 10 fields, people give up. You can keep it to 4 maximum, which is name, phone, address, and what you need. And then mobile optimization. If your phone number isn't clickable on mobile, you're losing jobs. That happens so much, you wouldn't be surprised. That happens actually all the time, where like the mobile just doesn't let you click on the phone number. It's quite ridiculous actually. Every friction point is another opportunity for someone to say forget it and move on to your competitor. Chapter 4 is AI intake is what separates you from everyone else. So here's the part that changes everything. If you've got Meta ads bringing traffic or Google ads bringing traffic, you've got a website that built to convert, someone fills out a form or calls and gets a voicemail because you're on a job site. What happens next? For most restoration companies, the answer is nothing. The lead still sits there until you check your phone an hour later, and by then they've already called 3 other companies, and the one who responded first, that's the one who got the job. Doesn't matter if you're better, doesn't matter if you have better quality work, doesn't matter if your pricing is far cheaper, you are way too slow. It doesn't even matter if you have better insurance connections, you're way too slow, right? How AI intake works automatically. So when somebody submits a form or responds in AI, the AI responds immediately. Not in 5 seconds, not in an hour, within seconds. It sends them a text, thank you for reaching out, we got your request to help foster. Can you tell me, do you have any standing water right now? So AI instant response, AI text within sections, qualifies the lead, it schedules the inspection, and it follows up with them to make sure that they're ready for the inspection. AI handles what you can't. So this just isn't about speed, it's about making sure every single lead gets handled, even the ones that come at 3 a.m. Because storms don't wait for business hours. Finding mold doesn't wait for you to be online, right? Pipes don't burst on a schedule. And if you're not available when someone needs you, they're going to call someone else. And the AI also filters out bad leads. The AI can identify and flag it differently so you're not wasting your time. But if somebody's basement's flooding or they've found mold and they need help, they escalate that to immediately and make sure that you see it, right? So it's got 24/7 availability, lead qualification, and smart escalation services, right? So chapter 5 is the full system and how it works together. So let me show you what it kind of looks like with everything working together. So you're not just throwing money at ads, hoping for the best. You're not just putting up a website and praying people call. You're running a system that actually turns strangers into book jobs, right? So number 1 is meta ad click. Homeowners see the targeted ads. Water damage, we respond in 60 minutes, call now. Landing page, they land on a dedicated page with bold headlines, trust signals, and a simple AI chatbot that collects information and books the job for them. An AI instant response within seconds, got it, how bad is the damage? Qualification determines if it's a Cat 2, loss, urgent situation. Booking, we get someone out there today, does 2 p.m. work, inspection scheduled automatically by the AI. CRM notification, new lead, water damage, Cat 2 lost inspection, job closed. That'll also send an automation to your communication software, said job closed as well. So what you see on your end is real-time notifications, new leads pop up in your CRM with all relevant details, damage type, category, urgency level, and scheduled inspection time. Pre-qualified information, AI has already handled intake and qualifications, so you're not starting from scratch when you call them back, so you know exactly what you're walking into. Complete tracking, everything is tracked, so where the lead comes from, what they said, what the next step is, so nothing falls through the cracks. The entire process is handled in less than an hour from the time they first click your ad. No back and forth emails. So your website should be your best salesperson. It should work 24/7. It should handle objections. It should build trust and move people towards booking before they even pick up the phone. But most restoration company websites don't actually do that. They just sit there looking pretty with some $25,000 design and hoping someone just figures it out. And at the end of the day, speed wins and system wins, right? If you can respond faster than your competitors, if you make it easier for someone to work with you, you can remove the friction between someone finding you and booking a job. You will dominate the market, right? It doesn't matter if you're the biggest company in town. It matters if you're the fastest and easiest to work with. That's what we do at RestoreFlow. We build full systems, meta ads that bring in traffic, websites that convert visitors into lead, AI infrastructure that qualifies, books, and does automations all for you, and a CRM tracking that shows you exactly what's working. So if you're a restoration company doing a $500,000 a year and you want more consistent, high-quality leads without chasing a referral, and you want somebody to handle all of this for you who's had the experience, you can go ahead and book a call with the link in the description, and we can have a quick chat about your situation. You need to stop treating your website like a business card and start treating it like a revenue machine, because that's what it should be. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope that everything in this video was valuable to you. If you found it valuable, please subscribe. I'll be releasing a lot of videos like this, and I hope you guys have a great day. Yeah, peace.